Hey everybody, so I've got Alyssa on a live stream over here, and of course you all are watching on this so that it can be pre-recorded instead of live to try to avoid the lag and all that kind of stuff. So before we get started, today we're going to go through the triplet timing and get some good quality reps on that. So go ahead and get that music. And we're also going to be working on the, I'm just going to call it Triplet Diddle, etc. It's the Triplet Diddle with 8 and 25 and tag. And then the other one that we're going to look at is the WSHS Capital Spree. So all that stuff's triplet bass, which is why I want to spend the first part of today going back over the triplet timing, just to make sure we're kind of good with those concepts first. So let's delve right in. I'm gonna dial the metronome back just a little bit to about 80 and see how that feels. I might slow it down even more than that. So let's just go line 1 of triplet timing. So remember on these each count alternates instead of staying on the same hand like 8th note timing would. And you'll, of course, line your right hand up with your left foot. So you're going to be doing opposite ends of the body on this first line. Left, right, left. Last time. Okay, so now hopefully you got that one pretty easily. Now we'll do line 2, but before we do, I kind of just went through this real quick when we did the first rehearsal of it. So I just want you to take a second to move your left foot and then hit with your left hand, and then your right foot and then hit with your right hand. Not to any specific beat, but just getting the left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. Okay, so try that on your own for a second. Alright, so now we're going to slow this one down for a second, and we'll try to do it to a beat. So you'll get your feet going, come up, and then remember the first attack is with the left hand right after the left foot. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, right. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, right. Try and rebound that second to last right if you can. Left, right, right, left, left, up, down. Last time. Okay, so now that one was the foot leads the hand, right? So you had a foot and then the hand on the same side. So now it's going to be the opposite, where first the hand is going to play before the foot. Okay, so go ahead and try that on your own, just going right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. You got hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, foot. Try that. Okay, so now that we've kind of done that, let's just come up and play this first count and stop. So you're just going to go left, right, up, and left, right, right. And then we'll stop right there. And we just want to get a couple of reps on that just to make sure we're getting the sticking right, we're staying on the correct foot, you're hitting the hand before the foot, and all that good stuff. Right, right. 1, 3. 1, 2, right, play. Right, right. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, right, right. Okay? So now let's try 2 counts. So you're just going to go right, right, left, left. Okay? Right, right, left, left. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, right, left, left. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, right, left, left. All right. So now let's try all 4 counts, and don't forget to end with a right hand release. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right. Alrighty. So now let's try 1 through 3 together. Right, left, right, left, 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 right, right, left, left, right, 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 left, left, right, right. Right, left, right, left, 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 right, right, left, left, right, 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 left, left, right, right, left. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Alright, so that's another strategy you can do, is just count it in 1, 2, 3, like it's a really fast bar of 3, 4. And just make sure that your foot is on every one. So, you know, you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the foot is on every one, and then just place the hand timing wise where you need it. Alright, number 4. So this one is all on the right hand. You're going to want to rebound these strokes instead of holding them down in between. And yeah, let's try to do 2 counts of this one. So when we do these 2 counts, just try to make sure that you're starting on the left foot, and then ending, the last note that you play is also on the left foot. Foot, foot, foot. 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, foot, foot. 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, foot, foot. 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, foot, foot. 1, So now let's try to do 4 counts of that. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, 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 foot. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, 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 foot. All right. So now let's play number 5, and this one is the same thing as number 4. It just starts a beat later. So if you look at beat 2 of number 4, that's the same as beat 1 of number 5. And if you look at beat 1 of number 4, that's the same as beat 2 of number 5. So we're literally just switching the counts. So you're playing it on the left hand instead of the right, and you're playing that rhythm off of the right foot instead of the left. So you know, it's the opposite, but it's also kind of the same because we're just shifting the same thing over just a little bit. Okay, so now the way we're going to try to attack this one is we're just going to play the first count into the downbeat of 2. Okay. One, 2, ready. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, foot, 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, foot, 3, 1, 2, ready, play. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, so we just really want to make sure that we're ending where that downbeat was that we ended, that it's on the right foot. Okay, so let's try to play 4 counts of that. And add the right hand release. One, 2, ready, play. Foot, 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 foot. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Foot, 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 foot. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. All right. So now let's try to play 4 and 5 together. Now let's play 1 through 3 again, just to review those. Three, 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, now let's try to play 1 through 5. any questions from Daniel and Alyssa so far? Or whoever the third person is? I'm not sure who you are. While I'm waiting on a response from them, let's go ahead and work on number 6. So number 6 is literally just playing number 1 and number 2 combined together. So this one tends to be the one that gives people the most trouble, and it gave me the most trouble when I was learning these. But I think if you just really think about it starting on the downbeat, and you don't try to make something else mentally the downbeat, then it becomes easier. So just remember that your foot hits on every 1, and these are 1, 2. So you got 1, 2, 2. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then your hands just play 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alyssa, Daniel, anybody else? Am I coming across loud and clear? Y'all following? Number 5. Sorry, number 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So let's take a second to break this one down. We're working on triplet timing, line 6 right now. So let's just take 1 count. So we're just going to go right, left, left, and make sure that that release note ends on our right foot. So it's a left hand on the right foot. Right, left, left. Right, left, left. 3. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, left, left. 3. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, left, left. 3. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, left, left. Okay, and if you can, think about the second triplet partial that we're calling 2. Let that rebound into the next downbeat, because you're going to be playing the next note on that same hand on the downbeat. So it'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So the 2 of the 3 is rebounded up, but the down, the downbeat is a downstroke. So that can help you, is you just remember whatever hand hits with the foot is a down, and the other hand is up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's the downbeat and it's a downstroke. Okay, so let's try to do 2 counts of number 6. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, left, left, right, right. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, ready, play. Down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so now let's do all 4 counts of that line. Last time. Okay, so the next line, number 7, there's a lot of different ways to think about this one. I kind of think about it as like you mess with the rhythm of a double stroke roll. So instead of having like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, where you got right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, you just mess with the rhythm and make it right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. So it's like a swung version of a double stroke roll. And to me, that helps me remember that the rebounded stroke is on the downbeat because it's a double. So the first note rebounds into the second one, and then it's held down. So you got up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? And that should help you with the sticking as well, because if you're controlling the correct hand down and you're rebounding the correct hand, then you can't play a different sticking. So if you think up on the downbeat, then the only other logical hand to play with next is this one, because it's already in position to come down for another note. Okay, so rebound, down, rebound, down, rebound, down, rebound, down. Make sense? I hope so. How's it going, Josue? Good to see you. All right, so let's try number 7, just one count. Right, right, left. Okay. Up, down. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, right, left. 3. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, right, left. 3. Left, right, left, right, 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 left. All right? So now let's try 2 counts of that. Right, right, left, left, right. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, right, left, left, right. Left, right, left, right. Up, up, up. 1, 2, ready, play. Up, down, down. 1, 2, ready, play. Right, right, left, left, right. Okay? So now we're just going to extend that and play it 4 counts this time. So now, let's play it without playing that last right hand. And the reason that we're going to practice that way is because eventually we're going to go straight from line 7 into line 8, and there's not going to be a downbeat that you play on 8. So you want to make sure when we end 7, right now, we're going to end with 2 lefts, and then the left foot is going to hit a strong downbeat after that last left hand. Left that I'm saying is the foot. So you got right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, left. Okay. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, left foot. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, left. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, left. Okay. All right. Now moving along. So number 8 is putting numbers 2 and 3 together. So this one, usually people are really good at this one or really bad at this one, and I don't know why, if it's just the way you're thinking about it or what, but I'm about to sneeze, but it's like right on the verge. It's just one of those, like, I'm not really sure if I want to sneeze kind of thing. So anyway, I'm going to try to push forward here, but Whew. Okay, so just like on number 2 where we talked about the whole left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, it's the same exact thing. You're just following that rhythm with the next hand. So left, left, right, 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 left. Okay, so try that on your own real quick. Left, left, right, 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 left. Left, left, right, 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 left. Left, left, right, 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 left. Okay, now we're just going to string that together without a metronome. So left, left, right, 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 left. Left, left, right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left, left, right, 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 left. Okay? So now we're just going to do that slowly. We're going to do one count of that. So we're going to go left, right, right. And you got to make sure that you're ending on the right foot on beat 2. Left, right, right. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Left, 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 right. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. Left, left, right, right. All right. So now we're going to add another count. 2 counts. One, 2, ready, play. Make sure you're ending with the left foot right there. Left, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, right, right, left, left. Okay. So again, I'm mainly thinking number 2, and I'm just following that hand with the other hand. I'm filling in that space. But I'm primarily thinking left, left, right, right, left, left, thinking about the foot as that strong downbeat. So you try to really mentally keep the downbeat where it is and don't shift it in your brain. All right, now let's try 4 counts of line 8. Three, 1, 2, ready, play. We're adding that downbeat at the end, remember. Okay, so now let's try to play 6 through 8 all together. Alrighty. Now let's try 4 and 5 to review. Okay, and now let's try 1 through 3. One through 5. Okay, now let's try 1 through 8. Alright, so for those of you that can't make it through this, and that's probably all of you except maybe Alyssa and Hemlinger, and the reason I'm saying that is I know they spent a long time in lessons like really nailing this stuff down, and that's like, it's pretty normal to have problems with triplet timing. The eighth note stuff, you know, you have all these rules that you can apply to that to make it easier, like every downbeat is a right hand, every upbeat or and count is on the left hand. Here it switches back and forth, so it just provides a lot of like really weird things. Motion wise, it's also kind of weird when you get to 6, 7, and 8 as far as which hand should rebound and all that. If you are one of the folks that's having issues or you can barely get through it at this tempo, then you'll really want to spend some time line by line figuring out where the foot is and all that. And it wouldn't be bad if you wrote like a star above each downbeat and or like a left or a right to show you which foot you should be on, so that you can visually coordinate, okay, left foot into this hand, and just however slow you need to break it down so that you do it absolutely correctly every time. Okay, and that can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean? That kind of slow is not bad. I mean, all of us had to do it. Like, I play snare drum professionally, and at one point I had to do it that way. And that will make you much more successful than trying to do it at like a medium speed. Like, if you're unable to keep up with this speed and do it correctly every single time, then you need to break it down slower than that. Don't try to play it at a speed that you can't play it. Okay, you need to play it the right way, correct, every single time. And that might be really, really slow. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so line 9. is just all the triplets, and line 10 is none of them. So let's do 9 and 10 together. And I just want to point out that when you play these lines together, don't play a downbeat on line 10. Okay. Left, right, left, right, right. Okay, so hopefully that explains that. So now I'm going to play through the entire thing at some different tempos, so that as you all gain more proficiency, you can come back to this video and hopefully write down where the timestamp is where I start demonstrating these. And then that way, as you get through different barriers of like, okay, I've got it at 60, all right, I've got it at 70, I've got it at 80, whatever, you can come back to this video and you can find this section and you can play along with me at the tempo that you're able to play it at. Okay, so this is 60 beats a minute. I'm going to play the whole triplet timing sheet down. 60 beats a minute. Cool. Okay, let's go up to, we'll say 70 beats a minute. Left, right, left. And 80. 1, 2, ready, play. $90. $100. 130. $140. Alright, so if you want to show up to band camp prepared and feeling good, then you should have it at least at 140 by the end of the summer. So I know that some of you might be watching this and be like, oh, no way. But I promise, if you spend the time at the super slow tempos, making sure that it's correct and that you're not doing bad habits and wrong things, then you can get there fairly quickly. It's when you have bad habits and you instill things that aren't correct into your playing that it takes time to get that stuff out of there. So I know everybody is doing private lessons and stuff. If we're not working on triplet stuff yet, we are going to soon. I wanted to do this video first so that I'm not, wasting my breath saying the same thing to everybody and spending your lesson time in breaking this stuff down. So now you have this as a tool. You can always come back, watch the first 30, 35, whatever minutes that we just did, and review all this stuff until you're just like completely comfortable with it, at least into the 80 beats a minute or so. And then at that point, you can just start working on speed. So anyway, let's take a quick mental break for a second before we delve into some of this other stuff. Let me look and see which thing we're going to play first. Let's go to Capital Spree first, because it's most similar to what we just played. Just way when you message, I'm just seeing message retracted. I don't know if that's just a YouTube weirdism or something. Is anybody not following anything to this point? Does everybody at least understand conceptually what's going on? Ugh, I cut my grass this morning with the weed eater, and my back is just completely thrown out. So if it sounds like I'm kind of depressed or down or something, that's probably just what's going on. I'm just in pain. So. Okay, so I'm assuming that silence from everybody else means we're all good. So as usual with this, with the WSHS exercises, I have not played the bass parts since I wrote them back in like November or something. So I'm kind of reading this stuff, but it seems pretty straightforward. All right, so this first part, A, B, and C, can be a really good way for you to practice the timing patterns from the triplet timing sheet, 6, 7, and 8. This is just a different way of doing it, setting up triplets in the hands before you start playing these timing patterns. So instead of going right into the pattern, you're setting your hands up in a triplet speed. So yeah, this is a good exercise for all of us. So let me back this metronome down. We'll just try to work it at like a comfortable 70. I feel like 60 is real slow and 80 is probably too fast for most of you. But I think hopefully 70 is a tempo that we can all kind of at least get through it together. So let's just play A. So you've got, that's triplets into timing pattern number 8. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is on that last triplet on the first count, you're going to want to let that breathe and come up. So don't try to hold that left hand down in that first rest of bar 2. Actually let the left hand rebound into the first note that you'll play in bar 2. And then from that point, again, on timing pattern number 8, I'm thinking mainly left, left, right, right, left, left, ensuring that the foot stays with the beat. Okay, so I'm not going to break this down as much as we did the timing exercise, just because we've already kind of done that. And if you're not able to play the timing exercise stuff, then you're not really able to play this. So if you're not able to play the rest of it, I do want you still to watch through this. But once we get to the end of this exercise, I'm going to do that whole thing where I play it at different tempos. And that way, as you are ready to attempt the exercise, you can go back to that. But let's all just stick to it while we break this down, just in case I say something that might, you know, connect with somebody. So B, this is timing pattern 7, right? So you got a bar of triplets into timing pattern 7. Okay, so like in the first line, how we talked about letting that last left in bar 1 breathe, don't do that in this one. So you do want to hold the left hand down going from the first bar of B into the second bar of B. But you want that right hand to then breathe. So in the first one, you let the left hand breathe into the pattern, and then in the second one, you let the right hand breathe into the pattern. So let's try that again. B. All right, good enough. Now line C, it is triplets into timing pattern 6. There we go. So the biggest piece of advice on this one is please continue to have the downbeat be the downbeat. That's the biggest one on timing. Timing number 6 is just having that da 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 da, and having that click stay the downbeat in your brain. Let's try C again. let's try A, B, and C together. Try that again. Okay. So, moving right along, now we've got in D, we have a bar of triplets going into timing pattern number 2, I think. So again, you're going to want the left hand to breathe from this first bar of D into the second bar of D, and you're going to hold the right hand down on that transition. So let's go and just play D. Okay. Now E, we've got timing triplets into timing pattern 3. Okay, so in this one, you're going to control both hands down because you've got a long enough rest. So you'll let the hands be just going, and then right on that transition, hold both down and immediately start the right lift. E. Okay, I hope you all kind of see where the hands are being held down right there. What we don't want is triplet, 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 and then either of the hands to be out right there. It'll be triplet, 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 triplet down, boom, and then you start from your hands being down. All right, let's go to F. So easy enough, got triplets going into timing pattern 1. In the transition from the first bar to the second bar, you will hold down the left hand, and you're just going to float that right into the downbeat, and then when you hit that downbeat, that'll be when you bring your left hand back up. Alright, so now let's take D, E, and F. D, E, and F together. Again. Okay, So now let's go back and do A, B, and C together just to review. Okay, and let's try to go A through F. A through F all together. Sweet. So now looking at G, this one's probably the easiest one in here, if not F, just because you got triplets, and then you just control the left hand down after that last left and let the right hand ride, and it's just quarter note triplets, but really thinking about keeping that beat 2 and 4 in time. That foot, that foot, that. And making sure that foot goes right in between those notes on the right hand. So let's play G. Alrighty. So now H is kind of the same concept. You just hold the last right hand down so that your left hand goes on a ride, and you want to make sure that beat 1 and 3 are strong in the left foot. So boom ba, sorry, boom ba 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 boom ba ba ba. Right. So just aim for those spaces with that left foot. All right. Let's take H. Okay, let's try G and H together. Okay, so now I'm going to play this at different tempos. So again, if you're coming back to this after you've had time to work out some of your trouble spots, mark down the timestamp and use this section as a way to practice as you gain proficiency with the exercise. All right, so 70 beats a minute. 80. Sorry, nope, that one wasn't good. I went into the wrong pattern. So I'm distracted a little bit. Yeah, I already said that, Caleb. You take the right hand on a ride and then you take the left hand on a ride. Okay, so anyway, trying to get runs of this. So 80 beats a minute. Okay, 90 beats a minute. Beats a minute. Ten. $120. Cool. And that's about, where you want to show up to band camp, comfortably able to play at 120. I didn't mess up that last thing, did I? felt like in D I may have played the wrong pattern, but I think I may have played it right. But yeah, around 120, if you can show up to band camp with it, around there you'll be in good shape. Excuse me. Alright, I'm guessing silence means that I didn't play it incorrect. So now, going to Triplet Diddle with 8&25 and tag. I'll probably just call this Triplet Diddle, etc. from this point on. So here is an exercise another exercise where we leave the natural sticking realm and we go into just some other sticking ideas. So kind of like in basic strokes, I think we do that a little bit with 16th timing, where we play things that aren't necessarily natural sticking. And this is another one. And I think that the idea of really solidifying your natural sticking in some things, but leaving it slightly in other ways will really help prepare you all to go to the snare tenor line in the following years. The Triplet Sequence. Yes. All right. So basically, basically, the concept here is that the majority of the time, you all are playing the same patterns that the snares and tenors are, but it's just half as fast. So here they're playing consecutive triplets in the first two bars. They're playing consecutive triplets, and you guys are playing that same sticking, but with quarter note triplet speed. So, right? And then in the second two bars, they are playing that same hand speed, but they're adding in right hand diddles. So you all do the same thing. You're still playing the quarter note triplet hand speed, but you're adding right hand doubles in. And then same idea in the next two bars, they add in the left hand diddles. So you guys add in the left hand diddles, so everybody's diddling both hands. And then take out the right hand diddle, and so everybody's playing left hand diddles in the next two bars. So you go from just an open sticking, alternating, to adding right hand doubles, and then add left hand doubles into that, and then take the right hand double away. So that is the concept of the first 8 bars of this. The next 2 bars is what's called a tap roll, and it's basically the same thing as bar 5 and 6, except it starts with one note followed by a small space into those consecutive diddles. So it's literally just that first count that changes, and you leave out the second triplet. So that's called a tap roll, when you play one note followed by the roll. Okay, so that's the first 10 bars. Alternating, add right hand doubles, add left hand doubles, take right hand doubles away, and then play a tap roll. So let's just try to get through the first 2 bars. And on this one, from in the entire A section, I don't want any of you to downstroke any of these. So especially at slow tempos like we're going to do today, it's going to feel really weird. You're going to feel like you do want to control it down. However, we're not doing that so that when we get faster, we don't have to change how we're approaching the exercise. So when you play it, let's start with the mallets up, and so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you lift on 4, you don't bring any of the sticks down until B. So let's play the first 2 bars of A. Gonna back this down to that comfortable 70 beats a minute on triplet stuff. up. Okay, and then we'll end in the up position as well. So just the same rules apply in terms of how the rhythm lines up with your feet. So you want to make sure that that right foot falls directly in between those two hands. So ba da foot ba 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 foot ba, right? So let's try it again and just keep that in mind. The feet are one tempo and the hands are kind of doing a different tempo. Okay, so now in the bars 3 and 4, you just add right hand doubles in that. So you're still playing quarter note triplets, but you're just adding an extra note on each right hand attack. So okay, and this one might take some breaking down from all of you, so I'm not necessarily going to do that in this time. That's for individual practice, but you might have to take it one count at a time. Bop, bop, bop. Da, 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 foot, right? And then add another count. Da, 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 foot, da, da, da. Da, 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 foot, da, da, da. Okay, and then just continue to approach it that way. And if breaking it down by count still has you confused, slow it down. It's not a bad thing to play it like, right, that slow without a met, or even slower. However slow you need to play to do the right sticking with the feet moving at the right time is going to save you time in the future if you just slow down now. Okay, so let's play bar 3 and 4. Okay, so now let's try that whole line, bars 1 through 4. Alrighty, now bars 5 and 6. Right, right, left, left, 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 right. The hands are doubling. Okay, so just make sure that you're not going right, left, right, left, right, left, alternating this thing. The hands double. Okay, so through this whole thing, your arms are still going quarter note triplets. You're just doubling or not. Now play the next 2 bars, so bars 7 and 8. Okay, so now let's play 9 and 10. Remember, 9 and 10 are the same as 5 and 6. You're just taking away the second note of the first right hand double. so let's play 7 through 10 now. Alright, now let's play 5 through 10. Now 3 through 10. Okay, and now 1 through 10, so all of A. Yeah, alright. So I know it's a little weird. However, none of these triplet things that we're doing this year are as hard as the full battery triplet exercise that we played like 2 or 3 years ago. I think, Caleb, you may have been in the line when we did that one. So yeah, it's time for West Springfield to have another funky triplet thing going on. Just to ensure that the whole line continues to have a intimate relationship with triplet rhythms and stickings, although these stickings are different. Never playing it right. Okay, so now the next 4 bars should be pretty familiar. So let's just play those right now. It's just triplet timing pattern 1 4 times. Easy enough. Now the next bar is you're basically playing half notes with the right hand, and then you've just got to pick up triplet and anacrusis. Means a triplet note. Sorry, it means a pickup note. So actually, let's let that be a quiz answer for Slack. For those that aren't watching it live, that's your first quiz question of the video, is what is another name for a pickup note? And it is anacrusis. I honestly don't remember how it's spelled, so get creative with your spelling. Okay, so I think you can probably learn this one best by demonstration. So I'm just going to play that next bar like 4 times, and maybe you'll kind of get the feel for it. Not too difficult once you hear it a couple times, I'm sure. So this is bar 15. right hand up with the left foot. Right, left, right, left, right. Alright, so then the next bar is just rest after you play that downbeat. So let's play all of B. Two, three, four, three, 1, 2, ready, play. Okay. So now the important thing to know next is, actually need to back up a little bit and explain something. All of A should be soft. And then B is all loud. And then C starts soft. Okay, so let's play all of A and B together. And remember that all of A is soft, all of B is loud, and then when we release on the first count of C, we need to make sure that release is a soft note. So after bar 16, you've got basically that whole bar of rest minus the attack of that bar. And then just remember when you come in soft. All right, so let's play all of A and B ending on the downbeat of C. Right, and remember that last note right there is soft. Alright, so this thing is deceivingly difficult to play, especially at slow tempos. I think once you understand how it works and all the rhythms line up and you start speeding it up, it will feel a lot better to play. It really feels awkward slow. So what I had said at the very beginning about bringing the mallets up or out before you play on A, scratch that. You're just going to come up and then no lift and just start playing. Okay, so now we're soft again, C. And C, the first two bars of C are the same thing as the first two bars of A. And then bars 3 through 8 of C, so the rest of C is the same as bar 5 and 6. So you just got quarter note triplets for a couple bars, alternating, and then you're playing all doubles. Okay, so this is just an extended roll. So let's try all of C, nice and soft. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. and then you end soft. So just remember you have 6 bars of that slow double stroke roll. Okay, now this is the tag part. Alyssa, I did change the bass part to just match the snares and tenors this year because last year we were using the Triplet Diddle tag as the bass drum timing exercise, but y'all are getting the majority of that in capital spree this year. So I just thought it made more sense since you're already getting that elsewhere, and now we're adding in actual diddles for your triplet diddle to give you guys the same stuff as the snares and tenors at the end. So this is pretty straightforward. Just a lot of timing pattern 7, but in this case it all stays on the same hand. So you got right, 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 left, 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 left. Cool. So let's just take that first line of D real slow. Lee. So 4 bars at D, starting soft, crescendoing 2 bars, starting soft again, crescendoing the next 2 bars as well. End loud. Cool. So haven't been too picky about motion stuff in this yet. But a big motion thing to keep in mind at D is the second note of the double should rebound. So in between these 2 notes on the hand, don't hold it down. So up, 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 right? You see how I'm coming up and I'm not doing this. Down, right? I'm not holding it down in between. I'm just relaxedly letting it come up and rebound. And then what you're going to want to incorporate is the quarter note prep on the hand transitions, just like we do in 8/8/16 or 8 on a hand and all that good stuff. So you got boom, 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 da-dum, 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 dum, lift. So as you control this hand down, you lift this next hand. However, I'm incorrect on that left lift because you start soft. So it'll be boom, 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 up, 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 down, da-dum, 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 dum, and then down, up. Right, you got one hand controlling down to springboard the next hand into the attack. So let's try those 4 bars at D again, just thinking about on the last quarter note of that line, controlling the left down and lifting the right into that next attack. Okay, so now you've got, instead of 2-bar crescendo, you just have 1 bar of all loud, same rhythm, and then the same handoff of the hands. So, bum, 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 down, lift, bum, 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 down, lift, bum. So let's play the next 2 bars, focused on that downstroke / quarter note lift. Okay, so let's play 6 bars at D. So D up through that point. Okay, and then the next bar is the same as bar 9 in the exercise. So it's a tap double stroke roll. And then the last bar is pretty weird. It's kind of like timing pattern 1, except you've got a pickup note that is the same hand as the accent. So instead of just being right, left, right, left, right, it's right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. So you've got that a lower note into a higher note. The strong note is still the downbeat. So a way that you might want to practice this is just play quarter notes first and then add those pickup notes to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, bum, bum, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. Something like that, just to get used to that strong downbeat, right, left, right, and then adding in those pickup notes. So let's play the last 2 bars of the exercise, and we'll just start backing it up and backing it up, and then I'll give you all some reps of different tempos, and we'll be done. Last 2 bars. Okay, back up 2 bars. Something I want to point out is when you're going from measure 30 into 31, you will control the left hand down and then re-lift on the downbeat. So bum ba bum ba bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum bum down dum, and then lift that on that next downbeat where you attack the right. So let's do the last line. Okay, let's do all of D. C and D. Cool. Now let's do A and B. 2, 3, 4. Releasing soft. Okay, so I'm going to bump it up a little bit to 80, and I'm just going to do some reps of it. Whole thing. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, bumping it up to 100. Going to go up in increments of 20 on this one. One, 2, 3, 4. Three, 4, 5, 6. $120. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and this next one, 140, is what you should kind of aim to show up to band camp comfortable playing it to. So meaning that you would be able to attempt it at like 150 or 160. It just might be a little rough. But definitely day one of band camp, we want to play this around 140, where you're just cruising, having a good time playing. Two, three, four. Two, three, four, 5, 6. Sweet. So there you go. So that's the next question is what tempo should you show up to band camp comfortably playing West Springfield High School, Triplet Diddle, etc. Hope you guys got something out of the session today. I'm not going to keep you any longer. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.